Rachel Russo is a matchmaker and relationship coach for master matchmakers, and is also co-writing a new book called Synergy for Singles: Why You Need to Lose Your Mind to Find True Love. Please give a warm welcome to Rachel Russo.
Oh, someone right here, yeah.
Where do you meet nice people?
Where do you meet nice people? So personally, I think the best way is through a friend. And then, of course, the other best way, in my opinion, is to do interests and hobbies and activities that you really like, because that will increase the chances of meeting someone who's like-minded, who you have common ground with. So we have this website called meetup.com today that maybe some people have heard about, and there's a lot of activities. I always promote that. But my message to you, how do you meet nice people, would be to really put yourself out there and make effort and try. Whether it's the grocery store or online at the bank, I say to talk to everyone and just try your best to put yourself out there in any situation, because you could meet people anywhere. That's the truth. Nice people could be anywhere. I have an idea of what most men want, and I say most men, and I was joking around with a friend, so I'll tell you just how I said it. I said they want a woman who looks hot, puts out, and doesn't cause too much drama in their lives. Now, I realize there are many men who want a lot more than that, and some of these men are the men that we're writing this Synergy for Singles book to appeal to. People who are really looking for a soul connection and kind of a deeper meaning, someone that is going to bring out the best in them, and vice versa. I think that's very, very true. I think they want to feel needed, and they want someone who will nurture them in the way that their mothers did, but they also like someone who is independent. An independent woman who has her own life and her own interests and her own friends. But in general, it seems that women just want to be adored, they want to be complimented, they want commitment, they want to feel, as Rihanna says, like they're the only girl in the world. So that's what men should do. Make them feel that way. Figure out how to do that somehow, and you will be very popular with women. How can you approach someone at, not like a bar, but even if you see someone at the supermarket or at the Best Buy? Say, using that grocery store example, if you were online, maybe what people's inclination would be to say something negative, to complain, oh, this line is so long, oh gosh, but don't do that. Do the opposite. Find something to say. Maybe you see something in that magazine that you're reading and you make a joke about it. And it could be very simple. You could just smile and it could strike up any conversation. I think people will welcome it, they just don't know how to break the ice. So the greatest overall advice is to just give out a friendly and open kind of vibe and that energy about you, and be natural and relaxed, and then you'll probably pick up on a cue, something in the environment that will make you want to say something, and that person will respond to that. My number one tip for online dating is to create a profile that really markets you and shows you the best of who you are. And read the emails and the messages that people send, and actually read their profile, and make sure that you're not writing something generic and that you're responding to what they're saying and not doing the little copy and paste job that we all know and avoid when we're online dating ourselves. Okay, with the online dates, my advice would be to, here we go with the texting, to actually talk to the people on the phone first, because a lot of times I think that you can avoid a bad date by just having a phone conversation for 15 or 20 minutes, because let's face it, if there's no kind of rapport on the phone and it's painful and you're just all these awkward silences, how is it going to be on the date? And I do understand that some people are not phone people, sometimes men say that, but if they can't even carry on a phone conversation that doesn't make you want to kill yourself, then I don't think that you should be going on a date with them. So you want to go to dinner and all that, but it's not about where you go, it's about the conversation that you're having there and the person and getting to know each other on a deeper level, and sometimes that can't happen if you're at a loud club or seated in a dark place somewhere, or even the activities. Activities are great. Try bowling, try miniature golf, whatever it is, but sometimes women feel pressured. I remember going to a ping pong place on a first date, and I wasn't good at ping pong. I was a little nervous, and I just wished I could just be sitting and having dinner. Well, basically, you just want to listen as much as you talk, and you want to make the other person feel that you're asking them interesting and open-ended questions, not just yes or no, not that you're going through that checklist. Make them feel that you genuinely want to know what they're saying by your body language, by the way that you look at them, everything. So when you're dating, how do you communicate today when everything is text message, text message, text message? I tell my clients before a date, do not text message people. It is best to use text messages as a means to make plans or set up a phone call. That is it. And even as you progress, into the further stages of dating, 3 dates, a month, whatever, you should not talk about important things via text. The way it goes is that what you do in the beginning of the relationship is what you get throughout the relationship. So if you want to set a trend, if you want to set the right trend, it's best to avoid the text messaging.
Yes. What happens if you do meet someone that you really like, but they have that annoying texting problem? How would you put that to them in a nice way?
So you may think that you're giving them the idea by just writing back in one-word responses, but that may not be enough. I would say to be straightforward, to say, I'm at work and I can't really text at work and I'm not much of a texter anyway, can we set up a time to talk? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Set up a time to talk. And if they get offended by that, then what kind of guy is that anyway? He's not respecting what you want from up front, so take that as a sign. When you're on the date, the most important thing that you can do is not give TMI. TMI is too much information. Now, we've all heard that we're not supposed to talk about our exes, but what do you really say when they ask? Because this comes up in conversations. So you always want to put everything in a positive light. You never want to be negative on a date about anything. Give them nothing to be negative about. Other topics to avoid, I'm sure you've all heard, but it's worth repeating. Religion, politics, controversial current events, just leave them for a little later on. Also, under the category of TMI would be talking about health problems, bladder infections, your mother's health problems. Whatever it is, you should not bring it up. Definitely, definitely not. By the time my clients come to me at Master Matchmakers, unfortunately their clocks are ticking at times and they're just feeling like, I really, really, really want to get married. Well, don't let the person know. And this goes for men too, because the last thing they want to do is feel that you're rushing everything and that you're just, they fit the bill and you're the next one and that's it. Worst thing would be to assume that people are going to change. Quote from Albert Einstein. Women marry men hoping they will change. Men marry women hoping they will not. So each is equally, inevitably disappointed. I think that the best approach is to really convince yourself that it is damaging, because a lot of times we don't see that. As I said earlier, love is blind, or I meant to say earlier. I actually said that. So love is blind. You may have false hope. You may not see that the relationship is damaging to you, that it has bad qualities, that it's toxic. So if you have a few trusted friends and family members, it would be good to ask them to kind of check where you are, if you're seeing reality correctly. And you could try to get some changes in that damaging relationship by also, again, being straightforward with the person. Give them a chance, give them time, give them space, say to them, this is what I want, this is what I need, this is how I feel. And if they can't deliver, then you're just going to have to cut the ties. And the best way to probably end a damaging relationship is to just go cold turkey. Because otherwise it just goes over and over and over for a very long time. Another key to maintaining interest in marriage, I would say separate bathrooms. They go a long way. And men want to see women that can take care of themselves. So make sure that you are doing that when you're married. Don't let yourself go, or any of those other stereotypes we hear about. Also, be careful of the company that you keep. A word about friends in marriage. This was a very interesting quote here from the Bottom Line newsletter. And this was about the friends that people have when they are married, how they impact their relationships. The quote here is actually referring to divorce. So if your friend gets divorced, it increases the likelihood that you'll get divorced by 147%. So that is really significant. All right, 40 seconds to wrap up marriage. Okay, communication is very, very, very important. My rule of thumb, do not ask what your partner can do for you, but ask what you can do for your partner. That means, i.e. people, do not be selfish. Solve problems by talking. You need to talk, and I will say this and say this again. If you do not talk, your problems will not go away. So feel free to get in touch if you have any questions about dating, mating, or marriage.